Welcome back to Kingdom Truth. I told you guys I come back when the Lord guided me to do so, and He has done so today. I've actually been reading a report from CBS News about the disparity between the haves and the have-nots increasing. That gap is widening, and this is a real problem for our economy and for the lives of everyday people. And so we're going to jump into this. I'm going to talk to you guys about this report where you can find it. And we're going to talk about some things we can do to address this disparity between groups who are privileged and groups that are not. Let's jump right in, though, to look at our purpose for Kingdom Truth. We want to help incite economic equity in the United States by revealing the truth according to the Bible and seeking God for strategies. Now, equity means the quality of being fair and impartial. The term equity refers to fairness and justice and is distinguished from equality. Whereas equality means providing the same to all, equity means recognizing that we do not all start from the same place and must acknowledge and make adjustments to imbalances. And this is why it's so important that we talk about this economic equity or inequity, which is where we're seeing these disparities, these huge disparities. It's because, when people say we're getting rid of DEI and we're moving this program and that program, we're addressing this and we're going to make things fair and equal, the reality is these different disparities between just the starting point of where people are in the challenges of everyday life. The differences between groups is not being addressed in our nation, and we absolutely need to do so. We've got to do something about this. However, want to make sure that we are operating within our guiding principles, honoring God and seeking Him for His will in all things, committing to the Bible as our political standard, coming out of the right and left politically and walking into the aisle to meet God at the altar. Doesn't mean you can't have your different political values, but the point is we need to use the Bible as the standard. We need to be aligning with the kingdom of God first, before any other group, not idolizing or demonizing any individuals, but remaining factual and only operating within the truth. Even in the comments, when you guys comment on this video, same thing. We want to operate according to all these guiding principles, and we are making judgments on only of actions, not of people, operating in love and honor. And so with that being said, we are going to jump right in to our topic today, because we want to look at this report that has come out from CBS News, and that's where you want to look at it. If you go to cbsnews.com, you're actually able to find this report that I'm about to quote to you in just a moment, as we look at this report that has come out from the Ludwig Institute for Shared Economic Prosperity. So what they do is they produce this minimal quality of life index, and it's different than other ways that judge, the economy and really the standard of living for Americans. And the reason it's different is because it takes into account some of the essentials that are necessary for people to actually have and keep jobs, to obtain higher education, and to have quality health and childcare. And so this is so important as we look at what they've discovered, because it's going to help us to have a clearer view of these disparities and real inequity, so we can really focus on equity, economic equity for all Americans. We know, of course, that there are still going to be people who have more than others. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about making sure that it's fair, and the opportunities that we provide for not just for individuals, but even for business owners, for students, all type of groups in our country, elderly, all groups. And so the findings of this particular study, which CBS reported out on cbsnews.com, let me tell you what the name of the study is, or the name of the article. The name of the article is "Most Americans Don't Earn Enough to Afford Basic Cost of Living," analysis says. That's the name of the article. And what this group, the Ludwig Institute for Shared Economic Prosperity, found is that the bottom 60% of U.S. households find that a minimal quality of life is out of reach, which means they can't make ends meet. Their expenses are higher than their income. It means that they're not able to enjoy life with their families. And it means that they do not have the finances for the technology and the clothing that's necessary to get and maintain a job that would take care of their families, or build a business that would take care of their families. And it's not even possible for them to obtain the education that they need because they don't have the supports that would be need to be in place, like childcare, or the technology that's necessary in order to do what needs to be done in order to improve one's quality of life. Now, this is a big deal because it said the lower 60%. What does that mean? It means that only 40% of Americans are actually living the American dream. And even, on the lower part of that 40%, some people are still like just above the line. And this is so important that we get that, because that's not something that's discussed in our nation. And what they actually find in this report is that the gross national product, and the jobless rate, these type of things that we tend to look at to determine what the economy is like in this country and what life is like for regular Americans, those two do not figure in people who have jobs, but still unable to make ends meet because it's not figuring in healthcare costs, childcare costs, the cost of professional clothing, transportation costs. I mean, it's not figuring in the types of things that are necessary to support the minimal quality of life. And this is key because if we're not realistic in this, if we're not using common sense of the common man, so that's very important. A lot of people are saying common sense, but common sense of a billionaire and common sense of the regular man, of the common man, it's not the same common sense. It's very different lifestyles. When you get into certain income brackets, your lifestyle completely changes. Your problems change, the way you think changes, your paradigms change, your networks change. The things that you're concerned about on a day-to-day basis completely change. And I'm not saying people have concerns and needs at every level, but there's some huge differences in lifestyles when you shift from that bottom 60% that we are just talking about, who cannot, have this minimal quality of life, and then the top 40% that is, living the American dream, even some of them just kind of scraping by, but still doing it. We've got to do something. We've got to make some shifts. We cannot keep going the way that we've been going. And so it's important that we then align with what God is saying to us, do his will, and move in accordance with his will, as we're going forward. And so I want to share with you guys about our upcoming Economic Equity Summit, so that you can join us. You can actually join us for this event, because this is a time where we're going to actually be talking about these things. We're going to address these things. We're going to move in accordance with God's will and with the common sense of the common man in order to make life livable for people who are looking to do better, to take care of their families, to make a difference in their communities, to better themselves, to contribute to our society. We want to make things better for them. And so let me see, I'm going to share my screen. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take you to the website so that you can go straight there. Actually, you'll go to kingdomofllc.com. That is my business website. So I'm going to take you to that website, and then I'm going to show you how you can learn more information and how you can sign up. So if you go here to kingdomofllc.com, just scroll down. It's actually right at the top, Economic Equity Summit. If you click on this button or on that picture, it's going to take you right to the page where you can learn more and you can join us. We'll be together on Sunday, July 13th at 3 p.m. at the Women's Business Center in Richmond, Virginia. We're going to be looking at public policy. We're going to be looking at government funding and opportunities, just really looking at a lot of the things that are going to help us make a difference in our community. We'll look at the things that are important to you. You'll actually get surveyed. You'll be able to talk about those things that are important to you and how we can help you to change things in your own life. But then we're also going to encourage you to become an advocate so that you can make a difference in your own community. And so we'll look at access and influence. We'll connect you to some of the influencers, show you what's really happening behind the scenes and how you can make a difference, and give you some very simple steps of things that you can do so that we can actually be a part of the change rather than being a part of the problem. And let me say this to you. If you're not doing anything, you're part of the problem. Apathy is, in fact, a part of the problem. There's some quotes here from myself and Kevin Kimball, who is actually going to be sharing a presentation at the event. And then you got some Q&As. We want everybody to come. We want you to really get your questions answered, and we want you to make sure that you are empowered to make a difference. Quite a few organizations are coming together to make this happen. And so we want to make sure that you join us for our Economic Equity Summit, July 13th, 3 p.m. in Richmond, Virginia. So I hope that bless you. I look forward to seeing you again soon in our next Kingdom Truth.